Hello, it's Randy Dewey, and today I have Mike Ward, CEO of Anthem IQ in Austin, Texas. I loved our earlier chat, Mike, and all the things that you're up to, and certainly what you're doing with the company. And our audience loves to hear stories of leaders, great leaders that have gone through unexpected crises and things happen. And so I have a question for you today. Explain a time when you were experiencing an unanticipated crisis as a C-suite executive, and how did you leverage that crisis for opportunity?
Yeah, that's a great question, Randy, and it's good to be back talking to you. It's been a long time, and one of our stories comes from actually when we parted ways from a career perspective after working together there in Toronto. It's the year of 2012, and I had just started with a company called Oz4X, and Oz4X was in the international foreign exchange space. That you and I had participated in, and they were an international company headquartered out of Sydney, Australia. They had just taken some funding from VC and private equity, Excel Partners out of the Valley, Carlyle Group out of New York City. And so, the stage of growth that they had been to where they wanted to get to was quite significant now with this backing and kind of surrounding of team. And they brought me onto the leadership team to be responsible for Europe and North America. The leadership team consisted of a bunch of ex-consultants. So people that could put together a PowerPoint and Excel and could problem solve way beyond anything that I could do, but they didn't necessarily have the sales background, the commercial side background on that leadership team. And so that was part of the reach out to me and for me joining the business. I go to Sydney, Australia in January of 2012 for my onboarding, my training, getting to know the team a little bit further after the interview process. And during that time, we have a partnership opportunity pop up with a business called Travelex out of the UK. Most people would know Travelex as the kiosks inside a lot of airports around the globe if you need the cash in exchanging as you're doing a trip, business, personal, whatever it may be. But it was an opportunity for us to come and bring a digital platform to Travelex, which ultimately they had reach and brand and customers way beyond anything we had. And for us, we had technology, we had this infrastructure, and the two could marry and be very successful. We had an introduction from a board to board level, and we were told kind of, hey guys, they're in a process right now. They're narrowing down to a select few, but we've got you into that final three, even though they haven't met you yet. And this is, at the time, the business, call it, is about 25 million of revenue, our core business. The partnership's about 25 million. So this is going to potentially double our business. And as I'm just even meeting people for the first time, seeing things for the first time, they go, hey, Mike, you're the sales guy. You need to lead this. And so as I start to lead the sales process of one, trying to even grasp what I'm offering, to spending the next 8 out of 10 weeks flying constantly from Toronto to London, England, to get to know this team and to get to know this sales pitch, and basically try to win them over of now what is two opportunities, two potential partners. We are hearing through the channels of our back-end relationships that the deal's ours. It's in the bank. They love the technology. They love the team, and we've got it. I'm sitting in our office in Toronto, downtown there, and I'm to get the phone call to hopefully, say, hey guys, it's ours. Let's move on to papering this. And the phone call comes in. And I remember the board, our leadership team in Australia, they're in bed. It's middle of the night over there. They go, don't care, wake us up, let us know as soon as you get the phone call. And I got the phone call, and we were going with the other team. And my heart sunk. I'm literally going through my mind going, my probation period, 6 months. This is like month 4. I'm done. I'm out. And I remember picking up the phone, calling our CEO, Neil Helm, a great guy, and telling him, hey, Neil, they said it's not us. And he goes, well, I'm going back to sleep. I'll call you in a few hours. You need to call the board because they're in your time zone in California and New York. You need to let them know. So obviously, reluctantly, I sit there and try to pick up the phone and call these guys and let them know that this deal that's going to double their investment, double the business is no longer ours. And I remember talking to Bill, our board member out of the Carlisle Group, and his boss is a guy named Oliver Sarkozy. Oliver, brother Nick Sarkozy, president of France, quite a powerful individual. And he hops on the line. He goes, "Mike, fix it. This is unacceptable." Proud to, excited to go that it's not, I'm fired and we will fix it, but, fix it. And I remember sitting there going, man, I was probably overconfident because I was getting this bird on the shoulder, in the ear saying, "Hey, you've got this." We were hearing from different, what we thought were influencers and decision makers in this process saying, "It's yours." And I am 30 years old, or just about to turn 30 years old at the time. So overconfident, feeling like I put in a good effort, but realizing that I wasn't solving what the customer actually needed. I wasn't actually listening to them versus us trying to tell them why we were so good. Mm. And it took that lesson of sitting back and going, well, I've got to solve it. And I remember calling the rest of the leadership team as they're in bed overnight. I'm going, "Guys, I need your help. I mean, you're all ex-consultants. We need to put this problem on the whiteboard. We need to figure out what we can do to go back and say, you made the wrong call. Here's why." And it really was the lesson that I learned of putting myself in the customer's shoes and hearing exactly what the customer wants.